go for the topic compression member in steel structures. Now, in this presentation, I have covered 5 problems, 3 problems from analysis, and 2 problems from design. Now, in analysis, first problem we have considered, that is single angle section. Second problem we have double angle section, and that is on same side of gusset plate, on opposite side of gusset plate. Third problem, same angle section we have considered for star angles. And fourth, we have design using double angle section. And fifth problem, we are with design but using channels. Columns we have designed in table problem number 5. Now here we have, that is P less than PD. This is most important one. So already we are with first chapter in this, we can say, that is tension member, and there we have T less than TD. So this first, which is TPM, these are actually due to external loads. Now you can see over here, the buckling strength of these members is affected by residual stresses, initial bow and accidental eccentricity of load. To account for, we have to define class ABCD, which is given in table 7. And this class we are going to decide using table 10. So for single angle, double angle, we have class as C. Now formula we have design compressive strength P, which is less than PD. P we have, that is external compressive load, and PD we have design compressive strength. Now we have PD is equal to AE into FCD. Now what is AE? That is effective area as per 7.3.2, and FCD we have design compressive stress obtained as per 7.1.2. Now first we will see the effective cross-sectional area, which is given in 7.3.2, and they have clearly mentioned except class 4, which is given in 3.7.2, and except class 4, our gross sectional area, that is equal to the effective sectional area. So if my section is class 1, class 2, class 3, then we can consider it directly AE equal to AG. Now you can see 3.7.2. So we have this class 4, and for plastic section, for compact section, and for semi-compact section, which are class 1, class 2, and class 3 respectively, which we can find from table 2, which is clearly mentioned over here. And that table 2 we have width to thickness ratio, and from this we are going to decide the class of the given section. And if our section categorized under these 3, then we have AE equal to AG, but it goes to class 4, then we have that will be slender, and then we have to find out value of AE by making the width to thickness ratio as per class 1, 2, 3, and therefore my AE is less than AG, and therefore we always try to avoid slender sections, because then my slender sections will not be economical section, because AG will not be considered for the strength purpose. Now 7.1.2 we have seen, which is for FCD. Now basic formula for FCD, we have Fy upon gamma mo divided by 5 plus 5 square minus lambda square to the power 0.5, and which is equal to x fy upon gamma mo, and that should be less than fy upon gamma mo. Now we should know the table, so I will revise the tables. Table 1 in IS 800/2007 we have for properties. Table 2 we have for width to thickness ratio. Table 3 that we have for maximum slenderness ratio. Then table 4 and 5 we have for partial safety factors. First we have for loads, then we have for materials. Table 6 we have for deflection limits. Table 7 we have for imperfection factor, which depends on your class, that is ABCD. Then we have table 8, and that table 8 we have for reduction factor X. And then table 9 we have for FCD. Now that FCD we are going to get against slenderness ratio. Now we have X Fy upon gamma mo, or we can use this direct formula, or we can go to table 9 ABCD, in which we have given value of FCD against your slenderness ratio. Now, if I have to use this formula, the table we have performed, that table was prepared by this formula only. And then we have that phi is equal to 0.51 plus alpha lambda minus 0.2 plus lambda square. And lambda we are going to find out by using this formula, root of Fy upon FCC. Now, FCC, we have that will be as per Euler's buckling stress, which we have seen in column, that is long columns. We are going to use the scale upon pi square E upon lambda square, where lambda is scale upon R whole square. Now, in this, if I will going to use a single angle section, then I have to directly calculate phi, and lambda value we are going to put over here, that will be lambda E value, which we are going to calculate from clause number 7.5. And from there we are going to take that lambda E value, substitute over here, which will gives me value of phi, and that value of phi and lambda E we are going to put in this equation, which will gives me value of FCD. So in this way, we have to calculate this value of FCD for single angle, for double angle, or for your columns. Now detail phi that is given, we have seen this one. FCC, how we are going to calculate, that also we have mentioned over here. And for that FCC, KL upon R, so that we know K, that depends upon your condition, that is end conditions of the column. Alpha imperfection factor already I mentioned in table 7. So stress reduction factor, and that we have 5 plus pi square minus lambda square to the power 0.5. And this we can calculate using this formula, and by this stress reduction factor we can directly also calculate FCD value. And this X, instead of calculating by this formula, we can use table 8 ABCD, and by that also we can get value of FCD. Now effective length, now different criteria are given. So here effective length, that we are going to be KL, and that is calculated from the actual length, and the member considering the rotational and relative translation boundary conditions at the ends. Already I mentioned your value of K depends upon end conditions. Now when we are going to use these compression members in trusses, then in that case we are going to consider this value of K between 0.7 to 1, depending upon the fixity of the connection. Now you can see, if we have buckling in the plane perpendicular to the plane of the truss, means we can say outstanding leg. In that case, our value of K is going to be 1. We have to consider direct distance between the centers of the intersections. Now, already mentioned single angle we are going to calculate as per clause number 7.5, And here we have 7.5.1 single angle struts. And again we have with 7.5.1.1, which is for concentric loading. So when a single angle is concentrically loaded in compression, the design strength may be evaluated using 7.1.2. Means we have to go to that formula which is given in 7.1.2. Now, if it is loaded through one leg, and generally we are going to apply the load through one leg only, we are going to connect one leg only, and in that case, we have to find out lambda E. Already when we are with clause number 7.1.2, there we have considered this lambda should be replaced by lambda E. And how we are going to calculate this? So K1 plus K2 lambda VB square plus K3 lambda phi square and root of this. Now this K1, K2, K3 depending upon your end conditions, and that are given in table number 12. So table number 10 we are going to use for buckling class. Already I mentioned, and that buckling class we have to use for imperfection factor, which is given in table 7. Now table 11 we have for your end conditions for column, which will gives me value of K, and table 12 we are going to use for K1, K2, K3. So till 12 we have to use table in compression members. So you can see this table 12, which depends upon your connection. So if you have bolts number greater than or less than 2, or if you have bolt 1, and depending upon fixed or hinged connection, we are going to take value of K1, K2 and K3. Now double angle struts. Now double angle discontinuous struts. So you can read this. I will not go total through this clause. And here you can see this value that will range from 0.7 to 0.85 times the distance between the intersection depending upon the degree of the restraint provided. So all this value of K actually depends on your degree of restraint provided for your end conditions. Now double angle discontinuous strut. First we have this, you can see this is for your angles on opposite side of gusset plate, and this we are going to be for connected back to back on the same side of gusset plate. But if we will go to the trusses, in most of the cases we are going to connect this on opposite side of gusset plate. And here actually they have mentioned we have to use 7.5.1 and 7.5.1.1. They have clearly mentioned for double angle we have to use clause number 7.1.2 to calculate value of FCD. And these are the requirements which are related with your tag boards. Now continuous member. So if we will go to the trusses, then we have principal rafters and main tie. These are going to be my continuous struts. Others we are going to be with discontinuous struts. Now in this they have mentioned that is cords or ties, trusses, truss girders, and shall be designed as actually loaded compression member, and the effective length shall be in accordance with this 7.2.4. So we have to go for KL, and for your columns actually we have to go for table 10. Now we will go to the problems. I already mentioned we have considered first problem, and that is single angle section. And we have considered three conditions. First we have that is two bolts, and end condition we have considered as fixed. Second we have one bolt with hinged condition, and then welded connection. So if it is hinged, then my K1, K2 are more, and then accordingly we are going to get value of FCD. Now that we will see over here. Now then we have first that is clause number 7.1.2 we have already seen when we will go for your single angle section, and now it is connected by two bolts at each end, and then we have this will be fixed connection. That we should know because we have two categories, one that is fixed connection, second we have hinged connection, and these two categories are for both when my bolts are greater than or equal to 2 or 1. Now properties we have, these are the properties which are related with your single angle section, and then we know the formula. If we will see that 7.5.1.2, and there you can see we have to find lambda E. Already we have seen, and for that lambda E we have root of K1 plus K2 lambda VB square plus K2 lambda phi square. And by using this, we have to find out value of lambda E. So first we are with lambda VV. So we have L, that is the distance between the intersection of the joints, and we have 3200 divided by RVB. In IS, this is given as epsilon, but actually this is E, that they have been make correction, that when we will go for reprint of this IS 800 2007. And then by substituting this value, I get value of lambda VB 2.28. And then I can find lambda phi. These formulas are in IS 800 2007, and which will give me lambda VB and lambda phi. Now K1, K2, K3 we have taken from table 12 against your fixed connection, and bolts are 2. And then we have K1 plus K2 lambda VB square plus K3 lambda phi square, which I already mentioned. And by substituting this value, I got value of lambda E 1.49. I already mentioned this. You have to put this lambda E in FCD formula, which is given in 7.1.2. And for that one, I have to calculate value of phi. So by substituting value of phi in this one, so we are going to get value of lambda and alpha. Now alpha we have imperfection factor, and as I have angle section. So if we will go to table 10, and in that table that they have given the buckling class, and that in that buckling class we have for angle section class, that is class C, and for class C we have this value as 0.49, which is given in table number 7. And from that table 7 we have alpha as 0.49, and from this we have calculated value of phi, that got as 1.93. Now you can see by substituting this value of phi in this equation, we are going to get value of FCD, and we have this value of FCD, that is going to be 72 MPa. Now we know FCD at 72 MPa, then we have to determine value of AE. Already we have seen 7.3.2, that is AE, effective cross-sectional area. I will again show you, that is 3.7.2, and accordingly we are going to decide this AE, where we have, for class 1 to 3, value of AE, that is equal to AG, that is clearly mentioned over here. And then we are going to use this table 2, and by using table 2 we are in position to decide the class. And here we have decided the class by B by T, because here if we will go single angle or double angles with component separated axial compression, and 3 criteria should be satisfied. So our first criteria satisfied, second also satisfied, B by T, D by T, and then we have last also satisfied, and therefore we have AE equal to A, which is we have already taken from IS 801, where we have this value 1650 millimeter square, and by substituting these values we'll get value of PD as 118.8 kilonewton. So this is the problem which is for single angle section first case. Now in second case we have connected same angle section we have taken, and that we have at each end we have single bolt, and then connection we have hinged connection. And then A we have 1650, so these properties are going to be remain same again. And then lambda VB we have calculated, we got lambda VB, same, no change, lambda V, lambda phi. K1, K2, K3 are changed. K1 we have now 1.25, K2.5, K3 60. These we have taken from table number 12, and that is against your 1 bolt and hinge connection. And from this I got value of lambda E, which will be 1.4. Now knowing this value of lambda E, we can find lambda phi, and that value of phi we got as 1.77. Now knowing this value of phi 1.77, we are in position to calculate value of FCD, and we got this value of FCD 79.66 MPa. And knowing this value, we will go for PD equal to AE into FCD. Now again I need not require to decide the class of this, that is class 1, 2, 3, 4, depending upon the width to thickness ratio, because already we know this is your semi-compact class, and therefore my AE equal to A, and we have this strength as 131.44 kilonewton. Now, third case, it is welded, and in case of welded, we are going to consider it as same as two bolts at each end with ends considered as fixed. And we have already considered this class, and for this I got this value as 118.8 kilonewton. So this is the problem we have considered for single angle section. Now we will go for double angle section, and again here first problem I have considered on opposite side of gusset plate, and then second we have same side of gusset plate. Now on opposite side of gusset plate, we are going to be in this fashion. So 0.85 we have taken, that is partially fixed, and then R minimum we have RZZ. Now you can see this is on opposite side of gusset plate. We have YY of whole section over here. So if we will go for YY of individual section, then my YY of individual section will be somewhere here. For this angle we have over here, and then we have to find out RYY for whole. Now, when we have single angle section, I need not require to calculate RYY of whole, because my RYY of whole guaranteed be greater than your RZZ value, because we are going to add it AH square in your IYY, and therefore my RZZ is going to be always less or always minimum when I will talk about equal angle section. And then consider R minimum as RZZ. We have calculated value of lambda. Now, as we have class C, so we will go to table 9C, and from table 9C, we are going to calculate value of FCD. So you can see over here, so we have calculated FCD by taking values given for 100 and 110, and here FY value we have 250, and therefore 107 and 94.6. And from this I got value of FCD 96.94 MPa, and we are now going to for class. Now this class we are going to decide by using your table number 2, which is width against thickness. And then by this we are going to see that all first criteria satisfied, second criteria satisfied, and therefore AE I will get it as A, that is 1138 mm square. And by substituting PD equal to AE FCD, I will get this value as 220.64 kilonewton. So this will be angles on opposite side of gusset plate. If I will go angles on same side of gusset plate, now you can see what changes we are going to get over here. Now we are going to be here. If I will go over here, then we are here, that is ZZ individual. We have here ZZ individual. So now I have to find out ZZ for whole section along this line. Now YY again, YY individual and YY whole section, we are along the same line as in opposite side of gusset plate. ZZ individual and ZZ of whole section are along the same line. So we need not require to calculate in the same way. We have this will be RYY will be our minimum, which will be 22.8 millimeters. And now we will put it. So value of L actually we have 1 minute. So 2.9 meter. So by mistake, I have considered this value as 3000, and here I have mentioned as 2900. But considering the length, so by mistake, this value was taken as actually 3000. So you can correct it. You can take 2900 upon 22.8, and then you will get this value of lambda. And then using this table 9C, you are in position to calculate value of FCD. 9C, because we have buckling class which we have to take from table 10, and for that buckling class we have this class C, and from which I will get value of FCD. And then by substituting this value in this equation, we will get this value of PD. Now keep in mind, as my angle is double angle section, and therefore we have taken this will be 2 times the area, and therefore we have 2 into 1338. So here you can see 2 into 1338, which will be 116.19 into 10 raised to 3 newtons, that is 116.919 kilonewtons. So these I have considered 2 problems, that is 2 cases, or I can say That is for same angle section on opposite side of gusset plate, same side of gusset plate. Now same angle I have considered here, which will be star angle, and here my value, if we will see this, we are in this way. So now if we will go to ZZ individual, then I have ZZ individual over here, ZZ individual over here. If I will go YY individual, then YY individual we have over here. And my YY whole here, ZZ whole over here. So now we have to check our UU also and our VB also. So in this, these may be lesser one, and therefore we will have our UU. So our UU we are going to get along this line. So our UU individual and our UU whole we are along the same line, but our VV that we have to calculate for whole section, because VV we are along this line, and then we have to transfer it, which will be along the center of this. Now we can go with this. So we have effective length. So we have considered again 2900.852465, and from this I will get RZZ. So how to calculate that? That is mentioned over here, and from this we are going to get value of RZZ, RYY. That is going to be same because my angle section 75, 75. That is equal angle section. Now I will calculate RVB, which comes 29.4, and we have RUU actually 22.8 millimeters. Now using this RUU as minimum, I can calculate value of lambda, which I will get as 85.59, and then by using this lambda, by using table 9C, we are in position to calculate value of FCD. And we got this value of FCD, which will be 127.62 MPa. And by substituting these values of B and D and T for Buckley, for your classification according to width to thickness ratio, and this also we are going to get it as semi-compact, and then AE equal to A is 1138 mm square, and that will gives me value 290.46 kilonewtons. Now these are the problems which are related with analysis. Now we will go to the design. So while going for design, we have to assume the compressive stress to select the sections, and for that one, if we will go to NPTEL books of Narayanan, then we have Bhavikatti, then we have a book from Dougal. So we have these books, and by using these books, we can decide slenderness ratio, and by slenderness ratio, we are in position to calculate the compressive stress. Now we will go first problem for double angle section, and we have to design against 150 kilonewton where length is given as 3 meters. And now we have assumed allowable compressive stress 90, and for this angle section you can see that table is given, and from that table I have assumed this value as 90. Generally for single angle section you can go to 60 to 80 or 90, then double angle section you can have 90, 100. Then for single channel or I sections you can go for 110, 120. If you have built up section, that is channels, then you have I sections, then you can go 130 to 150, 160 likewise. So now here I have considered 90 here, and from this we are going to get area required 1,666.67 mm square. Now you can find this area for single angle. Then from this we will select the angle section. Let my angle section will be 75, 6 millimeters. Now we are in this way. So equal angle section we have considered, and if we will go now, this will be, I can consider it at ZZ axis, and then for ZZ axis individual and whole are along the same line. So I need not require to calculate value of RYY, because equal angle section we are over here. And then from this I will get this value as 23 millimeters. So we are going to consider partial fixity, and K value we will take it as 0.85. Generally for trusses, this value generally taken as 0.85. And from this I will get lambda value, and this value should be less than 180. That you have to go to table number 3, and in table number 3 maximum slenderness ratio is given over there. And then for this lambda as class for angle section we have buckling class C, and therefore we will use table 9C, which is given in IS 800 2007, which will give me value of FCD. Then we have to go for your width to thickness ratio, and using table 2 again we will decide the class. And angle section we have only not applicable for 1 2, and therefore we have to check with this only, that is class 3, and that we have semi compact, and therefore A equal to A. And then we will put this value of area, which will gives me 162.2 kilonewton. This is for equal angle section. If I will go for unequal angle section, then we will check it. So here our check is satisfied. Now we will go with 1966. Here again we have this again, as per 800 2007, we have to consider as ZZ. But here I have to calculate value of RYY of whole section, because in this my value of RYY of whole section, I can say RYY square, this will be individual. And why I have to calculate this, you can see my R, now this I can say as ZZ as per your IS 800 2007, and 28.6 millimeter, and IYY individual is 17.1. So we have to check our overall YY, RYY and overall RZZ, which one is lesser one, and therefore we have calculated this value. So we have transferred this y-axis from this to this, that is central y-axis, and that we know we have, that is Ixx plus AH square. So as we are going to divide it by A, so I have divided it by A, and I will get directly value from there, which will be 24.76 millimeter. And our YY overall is less than RZZ, so which we have to use for lambda value calculations. Again, table C we have, and from this we are in position to calculate value of FCD. Knowing FCD, we will go for classification as per table 2 and decide our class of this, and that class we are going to get again semi-compact, and AE is A equal to 865 mm square. And then you can see we have a little bit value, that is 5 to 10, 5 between 5 to 10% greater than your equal angle section. As area there we have 866, and area over here we have 865. So we have little bit economical this unequal angle section in case of design. Then we have this value 178.61, which is again greater than 150 kilonewton, therefore safe. Now we will go for built up column, which is 11 meter long, and then load we have 1450 kilonewton. It is restrained in position, but not in direction. So we have to use table number 11, and from table number 11, we are in position to decide the value of K for your column. For this we have K1, so both ends we are going to be simple support, and therefore that value of K becomes 1, and we have L effective, that is KL, which will be 11,000. Now here allowable compressive stress, already I mentioned it, 130 to 150, 160 we can consider, and we have this value of assumed allowable compressive stress over here is 140 MPa, and from this I will get a area required. So we are using double channel section. So area for two channels we have 10357.14 mm square, and we have to calculate it for single channel. And from this I will consider it single channel section. So ISMC 350. Actually these properties I mentioned 801, but that is not 801. So we have all the properties for your channel angle, and we have to use this table instead of steel table to take the values, because these are the IS codes. And now we will go to the properties. So we have mentioned properties over here, and from this we are going to calculate value of S. Now you can see here I have mentioned that spacing of channel should be provided such that my RYY should be greater than RZZ. Why we are going to consider this? So in that case what will happen, my RZZ will be minimum, and we can utilize my whole section. If my RYY is less than RZZ by providing spacing, then in that case our whole section will not be, or whole strength of the section will not be utilized, and my section will not be economical section, and therefore our minimum we are always RZZ. So now to decide a spacing of channels, this first case we have considered back to back, and second we have considered 2 to 2. Now here we have lessons, then we have these bolts, then S we have C y by over we have, then y by over we have. Now this XX actually we are habitual with XX, but for IS 800 2007 we have to use it as ZZ. Now again you can see ZZ of whole, and that is overall, and individual we are along the same line, and YY we have in this way. Now we have decided we will keep our ZZ and our YY at least equal, or our YY should be greater than, and accordingly we can calculate value of S, and by substituting these values we are going to get value of S that is equal to 217.29 millimeters, and then we can provide S equal to 220 millimeters. And once I know value of S, then I can go for lambda, which will be 11,000, which will be L effective upon R minimum, which will 80.88. Again, table 9C, because buckling class for built up column we have C again. And from this, we are going to get FCD 134.68 and 134.68. Now, again, we have to go to the table 2, and from this, we can calculate B by TF. That is flange is plastic. So you can see we have this is for road section B by TF, and figures are given if you will go to the page which is behind your table 2. And from this my value of B by TF is less than 9.4, which is given over here. Similarly, I can have web of channel, which will be D by TW is same for plastic compact, semi compact. So you can take semi compact or compact or plastic, then no change we are going to get here, because my AE remains A for all these three class. And then channel classified as plastic section, and then substituting value of AE, we are going to get it as 1465.32 kilonewton greater than 1450 kilonewton, therefore same. And then last we have channels are placed toe to toe. Now just I will go a little bit fast. So we are going to be in this fashion. Now change what we are going to get here. We have there CYY plus S by 2. Here we are going to get B minus CYY. So this distance we are going to get as B minus CYY. And then we have S by 2, because we have YY of overall section that will be from center. And then by this we can calculate value of S, which will be 120 millimeter. Lambda remains same, FCD remains same, and we will get this as greater than 1450 kilonewton, and therefore same. So likewise we can go for this. Here I have not considered connecting system. We will go for a separate connecting system. Here we have only with design of this section. So connecting system we will go later. So we will have this section, these compression members, and now we will stop over here. So thank you.